I'm Janet Crescent. Welcome to Talk of the Town. Well, we've been in election mode for months now, although January is the official start of our election year. And our first guest today knows it all too well. This is Phil Anderson of Fitchburg. He's also the president of the Libertarian Party of Dane County, and he's running for U.S. Senate representing Wisconsin. Thanks for coming in today, Phil.
Thanks for having me.
So, Phil, in the past, you've identified as a conservative for a while. When and why did you become libertarian?
Well, in observing the political process, specifically the elections of 2008 and 2012, it was pretty clear that what I thought conservatism was sort of going away. The government was still continuing to grow. Government was becoming more and more intrusive in our lives. These are not things that I can traditionally consider to be conservative ideals. So when I was looking around for alternatives, discovered libertarianism as a philosophy and as a political party, and it became pretty clear that that was actually what I believed in, was limited government and the power of people to create a free and prosperous society and to live freely and cooperatively with each other. And that wasn't really happening in Republican or Democrat politics.
And why are you running for office?
Well, actually, I decided I needed to do something about it, and after talking about it quite often with my kids, they pretty much suggested that if it was really, really important that I should do something about it, and because I have the wherewithal to do that, and we've created the time in our home schedule for me to do that, and my employer is very supportive, somebody needed to do something, and in any movement, it takes people to stand up and take some action and sacrifice some of their time and effort. So I decided that should be me, but in the absence of anyone else volunteering to do that.
And would you like to briefly highlight what differentiates yourself from your opponents?
Well, it's actually pretty clear, I think. Most people kind of get caught up in the left versus right, Republican versus Democrat argument. In fact, both Republicans and Democrats are for bigger government, just in different ways. The government continues to grow, our debt continues to grow, we're still at war overseas, bombing people, drone striking people on a daily basis. And I'm against pretty much all of that. The government should be smaller, people should be allowed to live their lives freely and in privacy. We shouldn't be paying excessive tax money that then goes to the government, which is unaccountable and spends the money overseas on bombing people and passes along some of that money in terms of tax credits and favors to political sponsors, corporate donors, and that sort of thing. So I think it's pretty straightforward that there's a difference between what libertarians stand for and what the big two parties stand for, and that is the status quo.
And what's been your strategy so far with your campaign?
Well, we've used extensively social media. We are raising money as well to use traditional media as the campaign goes along. But the easiest way to discover people is to post things online, specifically on Facebook and Twitter, and then they sort of find you, because people are out there looking for alternatives to the old two-party system as it is now. And when you present yourself as a new source of ideas or as an alternative to that, then they find you. So our Facebook following has greatly increased, Twitter as well, and we're also organizing through the state Libertarian Party. They already have a bunch of contacts across the state. But it's amazing to me how many people have become involved in support of not only my campaign, but libertarian ideals just by being exposed to that. When I ran in 2014 for state assembly, when we knocked on doors, people quite often responded very positively to the idea that the government was too big and out of control. And they just didn't see an opportunity to have anything done about that through Republicans or Democrats. So it's grown quickly, inexpensively, and like lightning across the state, pretty much.
So that was my next question. You announced in September.
Yes.
And so how has it been going so far?
It's been going very, very well. We have a full campaign staff, 15 volunteers who have various duties. We made contacts across the state and in other parts of the country as well, people that support libertarians and libertarianism. We've got a campaign headquarters, a dedicated office downtown right at 520 University. We have events scheduled all throughout the next 10 months or so, not only around Madison, but in Milwaukee and Green Bay, Hayward, La Crosse, Dodgeville. Rock County is starting a new Libertarian Party, so there's a lot going on. And this election cycle, there should be a lot of synergy and cooperation between people that are running on libertarian principles and through the Libertarian Party, because it's a popular thing. People are recognizing that something needs to be done.
Sounds like you're awfully busy right now. We only just have a little bit of time left. If a lot of good things are happening, what's the least favorite thing about being a candidate for public office?
Well, I don't really like being in front of the camera all that much, to be honest with you, but I tolerate it. I like talking about it more than being visibly seen or whatever. But
Sure.
but I'll do that because the cause is that important.
All righty. Well, thank you. This is Phil Anderson. He's running for U.S. Senate to represent Wisconsin. We'll be right back with more Talk of the Town right after this.